So here's the deal. You could spend hundreds or even thousands on a track saw system like this. Or you can make one like this, just made from scraps lying around the shop. Didn't cost me any money, easy to make, and it's surprisingly accurate. Stick around, let me show you how I made it. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make two different jigs. One will be used to make long rips, and the other will be used for cross-cutting wide boards at a perfect 90 degrees. Let's start with the rip jig. This is a very basic but effective jig to make. It starts with some scrap wood I had lying around in the shop. I had a 3/4 inch white shelf and a strip of 1/4 inch plywood left over from an old project. I like 3/4 inch because it holds screws well, and the 1/4 inch strip is great because it won't interfere with my saw's battery, as you'll see in a minute. I use a straight edge, in this case a level, to make sure my 1/4 inch strip is nice and straight. Then I measure the distance from my saw blade to the edge of my saw's guide plate. In this case, I knew I needed at least 4 inches, so I lined the 1/4 inch strip up at around 4.5 inches from the edge of that 3/4 inch board. Then I screw it down while I'm using my level to make sure it stays straight. If you're lucky and the strip you're using has 2 straight sides, which mine does here, then you can get 2 track saws out of one piece. That way, if I damage one side while I'm making a cut, I can flip it around and I have a new one ready to go. To calibrate this new track saw, you just carefully cut the excess while riding the edge of the guide plate along that 1/4 inch piece. Then I repeated the process for the other side. Now you can just stop here and it's ready to use, but I'm going to go one step further to make sure the saw guides smoothly during the cut. I take some 220 sandpaper and sand the entire surface, including the edge of the 1/4 inch piece. Then I apply some paste wax. You don't need a lot, pretty much as thin as you can possibly go. Then I'll leave it for around 10 or 15 minutes and buff it off. This makes a huge difference, so I suggest you give it a try. Now for the first test. I'm going to cut this piece of MDF because I'm going to be using it in the next part of this video. As you see, it makes a nice, straight, clean cut. Next, I'm going to take that MDF I just cut and make a cross-cut jig. I'll use the leftover of that 1/4 inch plywood I used earlier and screw it to the MDF. One side note, I like to use either plywood or MDF for these jigs because solid wood has a tendency to warp and change dimension, which reduces accuracy. So stick to the engineered materials if you can. Now I'm going to add the paste wax. This is actually the better way to do this. Use the paste wax before you make the calibration cut. This way the cut is much smoother. Then I make the cut on both sides just like before. You can use this as a mini rip jig, or you can take this next step and make it a 90-degree cross-cut jig, which is what I'm going to do here. All you do is flip it over and add another piece of scrap 3/4 inch plywood. I'm using my 12-inch speed square, but you can use any kind of square to line it up close to the edge of the board. I clamp it down and add some screws. And that's it. Now a quick test cut. I have a cutting board here that I want to make a clean 90-degree cut. No problem. I make sure the scrap block is tight against one edge of the board and I slide the jig until it's in line with my mark. Clamp it down, then carefully make my cut. Perfect 90 degrees every time. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.